Welcome back to the channel on our continuing voyage to become better blues players. I'm Mark, and in this lesson we're going to look at traditional Chicago blues. So the way this video is going to work, you're going to see me play an example solo using 6 licks from the kind of Chicago style over a regular 12-bar blues in E. Then what we'll do is I'll come back, take all the licks apart, show you how to play them one by one, then talk about the scale and techniques and things that we used, and then finally just talk a little bit about the tone I've used for this particular lesson. So here's the example solo. So that was the example solo, and what I'll do now is I'll take all those licks apart and show you how to play them. Before I do, let me tell you that the tab for this lesson is available. There will be a tab on screen, but if you want a copy, you can send me an email, call it Chicago Blues in E, details in the description below. There's also a backing track for this available. MP3s are available for my Patreon supporters. If you're not a Patreon supporter, then the backing track is available as a separate YouTube video, so you can practice the licks over the backing track or just jam away and improvise your own thing. Okay, so on with the licks. Lick 1 now goes like this. Actually, we didn't start with lick 1, we started with a little intro turnaround before we get to lick 1. So the turnaround that actually starts the whole piece, after a count of 4 in, goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and what we're doing here is we've got the 4 count in, and then I'm hitting the open E string on the 1 beat, and then I'm just doing a chromatic run up from bar 4 to 5 to 6 on the bottom E, and then kind of resting for a beat, and then hitting a regular B7 chord where I'll be starting on the 7th fret. Okay. So nice and slow, it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can't remember the exact strumming pattern I did, but it was something like that. Do it however you want, doesn't matter. I did a whole lesson on turnarounds quite recently. Have a look in my channel for that I gave, I think it was about 11 or 12 different turnaround examples. Anyway, that starts off the solo. The solo proper then comes in on what is bar 1 of a 12-bar blues in E. And that lick goes like this. Okay, little bit reminiscent of Smokestack Lightning maybe? Who knows? Okay, so the lick itself, I'll do it again, but I'll do it slower. Okay, and we're starting on beat 1 of the first bar of the 12-bar blues with an open E string. And then what we're doing is we're coming down, and on the top E string, we grab 3rd fret and just bend it up slightly, and then come off. Okay, and then we're going to do this little run. And the way we're doing that is we're starting 2 on the G string, sliding up to 4. When we get there, we're going to hold that note, but also pick 3 on the B string. So far we have, for that little section, we've got this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is pick 4 on the G string again. Okay, so far the whole thing from the start, lick 1 goes like this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come down to 2, 2nd fret rather, on the G string, pull off to open before hitting fret 2 on the D string. Okay, now you can pull it off or pick it. I tend to pull that one off. So the whole lick, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And lick 1 now properly up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was lick 1. Lick 1 covers bar 1 and 2 of a 12 bar blues. Now what we're going to do is lick 2, which covers bars 3 and 4. So both of these licks are while there's just an E7 chord going on in the background. So lick 2 goes like this. So lick 2 starts again like lick 1, open E string. So you're just going to hit that and then kill it dead. And then what we're going to do is, like lick 1, we're going to come up to 3rd fret top E string, bend that slightly sharp and let go. And then we're going to play 3rd fret on the B string, bend that slightly sharp, and then come off back to the open E string, top E. So far we've got this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is 3rd fret on a top E again, bend that slightly sharp, and then off. So far, the whole thing, we got this. Okay, and then we're going to end the lick by just playing this other little phrase that's going to link this lick to the next one. And that's just open B string, 3rd fret B string, bend it slightly sharp, and then top E. So that part goes like this. Okay, and that is just like a little link to go from what's lick 2 into lick 3. So lick 2, nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's lick 1, 2, licks 1 and 2. So we're up to lick 3 now. Lick 3 is where the chord progression, the underlying chord progression, has moved to an A7 chord. So now what we're going to do is we're going to adjust slightly and pick out some notes from an A7 chord. So actually we're going to use the open B string as well. So technically I know a note from an A9 chord, but don't worry about that too much. The actual lick goes like this. Okay, so it starts, we're going open B string, hammer onto 2, 2nd fret rather, on the B string, and then play open top E, back to open B, before grabbing the 3rd fret on the top E and giving it a slight bend. So far, nice and slow, we've got this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come off to the open E string. So nice and slow, so far we've got this. Okay, you notice that those notes there, they're coming from the from an A7 chord. That's an A7 chord. It's one way of playing an A7 chord. Okay, and what we're doing is we're kind of just highlighting those notes. Okay, so yeah, so far we have this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab 3rd fret on the top E, slide it up to the 5th fret before coming back to the 3rd fret of the top E string. Then what we're going to do is we're going to play 5 on the B string before hitting 3 again on the top E, giving it a slight kill sharp, and then landing again 5 on the B string. So that second half of the lick now, that goes like this. Okay, and I'll do that nice and slow. Okay, put the whole thing together. Here's lick 3. Okay, and up to speed. Okay, so that was lick 3. Lick 4 now, we're going back to the underlying E chord, and so we're going back, we're starting again hitting our open bottom E string, and then just kind of killing it dead. And then we're going to play this. Okay, and I'll do that again nice and slow. Whole lick, this is lick 4, nice and slow. Okay, so as I said, we start open E, killing it dead, and then we're coming up and we're doing top E, 3rd fret, bend that slightly sharp. I'm going to play that twice before coming off to the top E, 3rd fret of the B string, and then top E again. So far we've got this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go 3rd fret on the B string, bend that slightly sharp twice, and then back to our top E string. Okay, so that whole piece up to now, so far what we've got, here it is nice and slow. And then we're going to play that little 3-note run, which which we did earlier, which connects this lick with the next one. And then all we're doing there is open B string, 3rd fret B string, give it a little push sharp, and then hit open top E. Okay, so the whole of lick 4, nice and slow. Okay, and in fact here it is up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now we're up to lick 5. Lick 5, there's a lot going on. This is where things get a little bit frantic. Okay, we're going to start off hammering on from open top E to the 2nd fret of the top E string, which is an F sharp. You don't really need to know about that. Just know I've chosen that note because it comes from this B7 chord. We get that top E, 2nd fret, and that's because the underlying chord progression has now moved to the B7 chord. So we're going to be playing this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hammer on open to 2 on the top E string, and we're going to play that another, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more hits of that. I think it's 5 anyway. You count it as going, so if you think a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, okay, what we're doing is they're hitting the open top E on the A, hammering on the 1, and then going a 2, a 3, a 4, okay? And then actually when we get to the 4, what we're going to do is we're going to do this little run where we're going to hit 3, pull off to 2, pull off to nothing on the top E. Okay, so far it kind of goes like this. Okay, and I'll try and do it a bit slower. So it's a 1, a 2, a 3, and then on the 4 is when you go on the... Okay, yeah, so then what we do is we immediately, the chord progression is changed to an A7, so we're going to change our little lick, so now we're going to highlight an A7 chord. Okay, and what we're doing is we're going to hit the open B string again on the A before the 1, and then on the 1 we're going to hammer on open B to 2 on the B string. Okay, so we're always counting this: a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4 and a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4 and a. That's kind of the rhythm. Well, it's not kind of the rhythm. That is the rhythm. Okay, so so far, let's take it from the start. So far we got this. Okay, and then as soon as we've hit open to 2 on the B string, we're then going to hit the open top E. And then we're going to repeat that move, B string, open to hammer on to 2, and then hit the top E. And a third time. And then what we're going to do on beat 4 is we're going to take 2 on the G string, pull off to open, and then 2 on the D string. Okay. So I'll try and play the whole lick nice and slow. This is one of those licks that once you've got it, it's actually easier to play it fast and play it slow. Playing it slow is kind of tricky, but I'll try and play it slow to take you through it. Okay, so let's do it up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Final lick, lick 6, and it's another turnaround. So the chord progression is going E7 to B7, and we're going to play this lick. Okay, so what we do here is, again, we're starting beat 1. We're going to hit the open E string and then kill it, and then we're going to do this run here. Okay, and that run, what we're doing is we're starting with our index finger. No, it's not our index finger, our middle finger, sliding it up. Well, actually, you can use this using either index finger and middle finger, or I prefer it for some reason, middle finger and ring finger. I'm going to do it with middle finger and ring finger. Middle finger sliding up, G string sliding 2 to 4. And then as soon as you get there, you let that ring out as you grab the 4th fret of the top E string with your other finger, and then come back to your middle finger, back to the G string. So nice and slow, that goes like this. So you get them both ringing out together. Okay, and then what we do is we play the same thing. We just play 3rd fret on the with the 3rd fret on G string, top E, back to G string, and then 2nd fret, G string, top E string, G string. So far we have this. And then I open G string, hammer on 1st fret. Okay, but I tend to trill it rather than just hitting it dead. Just kind of the way I do it. In the performance, I then kind of caught just an open string. I think it was the D string open. It's just a percussive noise. I'm not really thinking of what pitch I'm going for. It's just a note to fill a beat at that point. And then what I did is I 2nd fret on the bottom E string. Okay, which is going to, and with my other fingers, I grab the shape of a B7 chord. So I only hit the bottom A string and then play the rest of the chord. So don't play the whole chord in one go. I do it in this kind of 2-step thing where I play the A string and then I play the other strings. So here's the lick up to speed. Okay, and when you're practicing that one, just get that run down. Okay, and then you just need to make sure that wherever's percussive noises or wherever's going on with your hand, with your picking hand, you are hitting that B note on the beat. So the important thing with this one is beat 1 of the turnaround, you hit the open E string, and then you start the little chromatic run on beat 2. Okay, I hope that was useful. You practice that along to the backing track. What we'll do now is talk a little bit about scales and notes that I've chosen to use, and techniques and things. So the majority of the notes come from the E minor pentatonic, and if you don't know E minor pentatonic, certainly should do, but here it is as a recap. Okay, and what you'll notice is with that, there's an awful lot of open strings. So I'm only actually using one finger per string because the other notes are just the open strings. If you've seen my Ridiculously Easy Blues licks, Play Your First Blues Solo, I think it's called, I taught the same thing but around an A minor pentatonic. E minor pentatonic's different because you get those open notes. And because you get those open notes, you can do those kind of seemingly fast runs. Because half the notes, at least half the notes, are actual open notes. So you're not having to fret as much with your hands. What it does mean is that because you've got all these open strings, you don't want the open strings to ring too much. So you've got to be a bit careful with your muting, whether that's muting with the left hand so things aren't ringing out because you're covering things here, particularly on the bass strings. I use my palm of my hand on those. And up here, just using my other fingers as resting the hand on the strings that aren't being played. One last thing to talk about is tone, because I often get asked how I get a particular guitar tone for a particular lesson. This lesson, quite different in terms of tone to what I usually play with. I've tweaked the amp around and I've gone for a slightly different guitar this time. So because I just wanted that kind of traditional electric Chicago blues sound, which is a little bit less smooth, more gritty. I don't know, that's kind of how it sounds to me. First thing to note is I've gone for the Les Paul Special because it's got P90s, super fat, growly, just amazing pickups. I love P90s. The neck pickup sounds like the fattest single coil you've ever heard. Okay, and the bridge pickup just sounds like the barkiest thing you've ever heard. If you don't have a guitar with P90s, you want to get this kind of sound, you could do it like a bridge Telecaster will give you a fantastic sound. I think the point of it was just kind of spiky and loud and aggressive. Humbucker guitars, you can get something similar as well. I just went for this because it just kind of sounded a little bit more authentic. If you think about the early Chicago blues scene, it was like 335s, which have got humbuckers on them. You know, Telecasters, which got single coils, those kind of things. So there was, you can get a good early Chicago sound out of any guitar. It's just that they're all going to sound slightly different. This one just sounds slightly gnarly. On the amp, the way I've got the amp set, I'm using the dirty channel, but I've got all the dirt rolled off, as far off as it will go. You can't get any less dirt on this channel. And so all that kind of gnarliness that you're hearing is from the fact that this is like a really super hot pickup, which is just driving the valves. If you want to get a similar tone, again, bridge pickup, maybe go for a boost or something, a little bit of gain, but not very much. The main reason I actually went for the dirty channel on this amp is because the dirty channel's got more EQ selection. So the bass and the bass and treble are dead center, middle's up a notch, just a little bit, not too much. But this amp's got something called an ISF control, and basically all the way one way it sounds like a Fender, all the way the other way it sounds like a Marshall. Normally on my lessons I just have it set all the way to a Marshall sound because that's the sound I prefer. For this one I did it the other way. I had it set all the way towards the Fendery sound. So if you're thinking like a Fender kind of brown face amp, you know, those early amps, that kind of thing, that's the kind of sound I'm going for. Other than that, the only other thing to say is I have a delay pedal on and it's set really, really super low. So if I give you a little sound, that's it. It just sounds like an echo, like a very, very slight echo, like a slapback. I hope that helps for all those people who keep complaining and messaging me saying, please tell us how you got the tone for the lesson. As I say, different tone this time than what I usually use. Hope that was useful. Hope I didn't ramble too much. And I'll see you again.